project? I know you've done a lot of big, high visibility cars.
You know what? It's a tough question because I can probably tell you my top 5: the Beetle, the golf cart, the Ram. Of course, the Ram had like 50 motorizations, and my Expedition and the jet ski probably top 5. That like.
When it comes to building a high-end sound system, what do you think is the most important part of the puzzle?
There's a lot of brands out there that you can make sound good. Like for instance, when I built the MA Audio golf cart, the product that I put there was not all that great, but it sounded pretty good. The key is you got to be able to use everything good. In other words, you can't do good amplifiers with medium speakers, or vice versa. You know, real good speakers with a bad amplifier, or maybe not the right wiring. You know, so I really feel that if you were to use the right amps, one thing I always do, I overpower my speakers and I just turn all the gains down. So you can take an amplifier that's not even that great, and if you overpower the speakers and you turn the gains down, you know the distortion rate is going to go down. You know, so as far as building an old, you know, like the foundation for me is the fabrication and also try to make everything easy accessible. I remember in my early days, I would do all this crazy motorization, but if one of the motors broke down, you couldn't get to it. So now as I'm gotten older, I try to make stuff that everything can come out real easy if you have to repair anything in the car.
Is there anything you'd like to see car audio companies do different? Like how would you, if you were running your own car audio company, what would you do that would set you apart?
Making stuff like integrate with each other, like, you know, having an amplifier, but you have all these accessories that go with that amp, so the kid may not be able to afford the whole thing at once. He can buy like the amplifier, then he can buy an add-on piece that can go into the amplifier and make it look real cool. Which unfortunately, that's one of the things I was gonna do when I was working at Metro, and it never happened. You know, I think manufacturers the biggest mistake they tried to do, trying to be like so anal about things instead of creating a hype in the industry. And I asked her 15 years ago where motorization should be a real big part of this thing, because imagine having 50 or 100 cars and each one of them's got all this crazy stuff moving. And I really feel that one of the things that affected this industry of ours is these guys being so anal that everything was about sound quality. And the real world, you know how many people care about that? Like this many. How many people are going to come to the SEMA show and have to sit in the car and listen to it? 1%. How many people will come and see all this crazy cool stuff and go the oohs and ahs? 95% of these people coming to the show.
When it comes to installing, you've done so many custom installs, you've created methods, you have the way you do things. Is there something you could share with the guys at home, a time saver, a trick, a tip for installing?
Think before you work. The best thing to do. The problem is a lot of guys get excited about a project, they jump on it and they don't really have a game plan, and halfway through it they realize they screwed up so many ways because there's an obstacle here. Me, I spend so many hours in bed. If I don't see it, I don't build it. I have to visualize something in my head. Once I visualize it, I try to break it down in stages and try to solve problems. If I do it this way, I might have this problem. If I do it this way. So my first thought, by the time I'm done with it, maybe I gotta change it 10 different ways because I'm trying to simplify it, yet still create the effect that I wanted to do with less time and easy accessible and stuff like that.
I think I know the answer to this question. What is your daily driver right now?
Of course, the Fish Edition, baby. The baddest SUV in the face of the earth. That's it. What else can I drive? You couldn't trade me a Lamborghini for that car.
The next question, the follow-up question is, if you could trade that for any car in the world, the one stipulation is you can't customize the new car. You have to take it the way it is. Would you trade it for anything in the world?
I won't trade it because I couldn't drive a Lamborghini without a badass system. My scooter, I have a $7,000 scooter, which CarAudio is going to do a feature with it. It's worth about $45,000 on a $7,000 scooter. It's got a system better than most cars out there. A scooter. So you think I'm going to drive a Lambo with a factory system?
I think that's the first time we've heard that answer today.
That's it, dude. Because the Fish Edition is my dream. I built that car for myself. If you see the new stuff that I just did and the new stuff I'm gonna do for CES, the car's gonna be worth, by the time I get to CES, it's gonna be worth about $350,000. It's got every toy, it's got everything that I wanted that no car there can do. So it looks sick. You guys haven't seen it yet. It's burgundy. It's so bad, So I won't trade it. Unless the Lambo came with a badass mommy. That might be the deal breaker. If a hot mommy comes with a Lambo and I can have her at least for a year, maybe.